All right. Hello. I'm Diana Gard, and I am a healer. I do energy work and I do mediumship, psychic work. I work with spirit in all the ways. My clients are about 50-50 people and animals. And so today we're going to talk about animals in particular, though you'll see there are some surprises as we go. This is my friend, Fryn Prickett. She's been my client since I began doing this work, and is because she's my best friend. And so that's how that works. I did work quite a bit with her beautiful dog, Sophia. Um, and she's going to talk about that now.
Yes. So I don't remember what was going on with Sophia that I asked you for a couple sessions with her, but I do remember the time you said you would start working with her at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was going to be a long distance session. Uh, and Sophia was very, very engaged with everything there was to be engaged with. So she did not, she would sleep if I was doing absolutely nothing. Uh, I work from home, so we were together most of the time, but she just, if anything was happening, she had to be involved in it, and she was very there. So whenever we were in the car, she was very active, looking at everything, her always watching. And we were driving, and I looked, and she was being very hyper, like herself. And I looked at the clock, and it was 2 o'clock, and I thought, oh, Diane's going to do a session on Sophia. And I looked back in the back seat, and Sophia was just laid out flat, just absolutely gone. And and I would have actually been concerned, but I knew Diana was doing a session on her. And then about a half hour later, she perked up and was her usual self. And later, I asked Diana about how long the session lasted, and she said about a half hour. Uh, so that seemed very significant. And then Sophia would get better after like many times I had Diana work on her, uh, and it would always seem to make a difference. And then the second time, it was basically the same story. We were in a different place, but time hit for the session with Diana, and Sophia was gone and perked up about a half hour later.
Right. And that's, I mean, one of the things that's really cool about this work is that you don't have to be present with each other for it to work very well. We call them long distance or remote sessions, and I was probably at my home doing these sessions. So,
But it was a very marked change in her behavior right at the time you were doing the sessions.
and
Yeah.
she and I loved each other very much. So there was a
Yeah, you were connected together.
yeah, so that helps too, of course. Um, but then, so I also did sessions on her when she was in each other's presence, usually
Mhm.
when I was doing sessions with Fryn. So I'd work on Fryn and Sophia would be there, and those two would go together.
Mhm.
um yeah, so that's a fun thing. Then I tell people this in a funny way. It's a little bit sad but true that most of my clients who are pets pass, eventually. Sometimes I am hired to help them pass, or to help the people who have pets cope with their passing. So Sophia did pass, and that was hard. We loved her, and had to say goodbye. I know that was hard for you, friend. And I know you. So then we were doing a session, and I believe we were doing it here in my clinic, which is right across the way from where Sylvia is. I'm Sylvia, where Fryn is right now. She rents this space to allow me to do my work. So I usually bring my dog Max, and I was working on Frin. And take it away, Frin.
Well, Max was, you'd said how you and Sylvia had been really worried about Max that morning because he was kind of whimpering and he couldn't get comfortable and he was pacing and crying and he'd kind of tried everything and he just wasn't being able to get comfortable. And so that was really very marked. Like he just didn't, it was unusual behavior. And, but then I can't remember how Sophia came into it. Maybe just because I said I keep feeling guilty because Sophia would have liked to have lived on a sheep farm and herded sheep every day, and I didn't give her that life. So, uh, so you, I think that brought Sylvia, so
Sylvia.
Sylvia's being present here, Sophia, into the conversation, and you said how grateful she'd been for this life, and it was a great preparation for what she was doing because she used to help with my clients. She used to always show up and sit herself. Each client had a place, a different place where she sat. One like right in her lap, and one at her feet, uh, and one on the couch with her head in the lap. But she would just take her place each time. So she was a healer dog. Uh, but it was kind of reassuring that she had appreciated her life with me. It didn't need to be on a sheep farm herding sheep every day, although she would have been good at it. Uh, but and then you said that Sophia was working as a healer to other dogs from, like, she was working on this plane with helping dogs heal. And then you said something like, uh-oh, Max isn't going to like that. Sophia's just going over and putting herself completely on top of him and around him. And I don't think he'll like that. And then Max, who had been whimpering and crying, went over to his bed and plopped down and fell deeply asleep. And it's like, make of it what you will, but those are the facts.
I also remember I felt her very strongly when I was working on you, friend, and it was like she just presenced herself right away.
Mm.
And she said that she was an angel, but
Mm.
she was an angel for dogs. That was who called her, and what her job was
Mm.
angelic, if you will. I don't even know what that means really, but I have a
Mhm.
sense of it,
Mhm.
and it
Mhm.
made total sense.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean, I got this huge, all these huge rushes of gratitude
Mm.
for you, friend, and all of that love she felt, and how she had achieved this level of, I don't know, are there levels? It feels like there's levels on the spirit
Mm.
side where you like grow and
Mm.
get higher in your consciousness.
Mm.
But she was really happy with that job and displayed it
Mm.
in terms of how she took care of Max, and that
Yeah.
was pretty
Yeah.
fabulous. All right, well, I just wanted us to share those moments, and that's all there is to say.
Cool.
Thanks very much, friend.
Wow.
And Sylvia,
Bye.
by the way, is my wife. Just if
She's-
in case anybody wants to know, she's coming up, so we'll
I
probably
always
interview
used to
her
call
next.
Sophia Sylvia and Sylvia Sophia.
Oh,
My
interesting.
mouth is
They're
okay.
interesting, angelic people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Ciao.
Thanks, honey.
Welcome.